This episode of eHealth Radio is brought to you by uNatural, empowering your health as natural as counting sheep and much, much more effective. Serenity is the natural sleep aid supplement that helps you wind down without the grogginess and fogginess that habit-forming sleep aids can sometimes cause. Try it risk-free for 90 days with 15% off from eUnatural.com using checkout code eHealth15. Again, that is uNatural.com, checkout code eHealth15.
This is the eHealth Radio Network, your source for health advice on demand. And now your host, Eric Michaels.
Thanks for joining us once again here on the eHealth Radio Network. This is your host, Eric Michaels. eHealth Radio gives you the most current health information, news, and advice featuring some of the leading innovators in healthcare and wellness who are changing healthcare as we know it. For more eHealth Radio reports, we invite you to visit our main radio channel site at eHealthRadioNetwork.com. Today we're speaking with Cassady Cayne, author of the #1 best-selling book, The Universe Speaks. Are You Listening? 111 high-vibrational oracle messages on love, healing, and existence to unlock your inner light. And Cassady, thanks for joining us here today on eHealth Radio.
Thank you so much for having me, Eric.
And you're most welcome, and a good morning or good afternoon to you. So tell us, for starters, Cassady, how do you know if the universe is really speaking to you?
Well, this is one of my favorite things to talk about, because when we start looking and start kind of examining our lives, we'll notice most often that the universe is talking to us somehow. One of the most common ways that people notice these messages is through their dreams, like what you dream at night, especially if there are symbols. Say you're wearing a pair of red boots, or you're in the house that you grew up in. There are these little clues that are very often working to guide you forward, working to give you encouragement. Another thing is when we see numbers, like the title of my book, 111 High-Vibrational Messages. A lot of us see these repeating numbers. Maybe we're out in traffic and we see 444 on a lot of the license plates. Those types of numbers actually carry a message.
Certainly interesting, as well as the dreams. Why is learning to forgive yourself so important? I'd like to hear your take on that.
Sure. Well, when we forgive ourselves, we kind of allow our true potential to rise forth, because when we don't allow ourselves to be free with who we are, when we hold these judgments against ourselves, we're kind of tying ourselves up in knots, and it can affect our health in a bad way. It can hold us back from taking opportunities to come our way. It can get in the way of good relationships. So when we can forgive ourselves and kind of move forward knowing that we're our own best friend rather than our enemy, it can really uplift our lives in so many ways. And it sounds really simple, but really I find it very helpful with myself and clients to think about it in terms of, are you being your own best friend, or are you being an enemy? How would you speak to a child, for example? So to try to be a little bit more forgiving and a little kinder and gentler with ourselves, I do believe and see that has amazing effects on our lifestyle.
Yes, forgiveness is such an important factor in our lives, and really appreciate your pointing that out. Now, how can you heal old emotional wounds and hurts that keep you from reaching a higher state of consciousness?
That's a great question, and something I struggled with for a long time myself, until I started working with energy healing. And just real brief, everything in the universe is energy in motion, including us humans and all of the objects that we use, the phones we talk on, the computer, etc. We're not really solid, and neither is anything around us. And anyone who's curious about this listening, you can go and Google that. Science has verified this for decades now. So in this universe of energy, we are also energy. So when we start to work on our energy, and for example, it could be so simple as going within meditating for a few minutes every day, we kind of reset and harmonize and allow our energy to flow smoother. And that then has outer effects in our life, where we feel that we're more in flow, for example. So that old saying, as within, so without, is a very powerful one that I've been working with a lot. And that energy work, again, something so simple as just going within and taking a few minutes every day to just kind of letting our thoughts unwind and getting out of that static that we so often have in our lives.
Yeah, slowing things down certainly will help with this crazy world that we're in today, and everything's moving so fast as well. I don't know about you, but it's that way for me as well. As natural as counting sheep and much, much more effective, try Serenity at 15% off from eNatural.com with checkout code eHealth15. Again, that is eUnatural.com. Checkout code eHealth15. Today we're visiting with Cassady Cayne, author of the #1 best-selling book, The Universe Speaks. Are you listening? 111 high-vibrational oracle messages on love, healing, and existence to unlock your inner light. She's joined us here today on the Emotional Health and Health News channels, a part of the eHealth Radio Network. Now, continuing on, tell us, how can guidance from the universe transform your life?
Well, I tend to think of it like this. Like I just mentioned, the universe is energy and we are energy. So the universe isn't really something that is separate from us. It's this larger consciousness that we come from, the awareness in the universe of self. And we find it in other people, we find it in ourselves. So it's this higher awareness of existence beyond our everyday kind of humdrum, stressed out lives. So when we start to tap into that higher awareness, we get the kind of guidance that can help us move forward in a way that we, on our human perspective, wouldn't be able to see. For example, the universe might see that we have more potential than we gave ourselves credit for, and we might be guided to people and opportunities that we wouldn't feel was possible. That's something I see with a lot of people, that we tend to sell ourselves short a lot in life. And when we start to tap into guidance from the universe, it really helps us to see things in a different way above all, and that begins to change everything.
Another question for you, Cassady. How do we unconsciously block help and love from the universe?
Well, a lot of the common things are things that we humans share with each other. So it's things we pick up on and are told while we're growing up, like people might say to us that life is hard or love hurts. So we have all these sayings as humans and in our culture, and they tend to become infectious, where we take them on in our field, we take them on as truth, and then that's what we start to see, and that's what we start to focus on and kind of attract to us. So when we can step back from that, and that's where this higher guidance is so helpful, is when we start to take a different perspective, that everything is possible, that love can be good, that it's really possible to be with someone and be happy for 20, 50, 60 years, that life can really be good no matter what's happening in the world, then we start to change what we allow into our lives. So it's really a lot about the mental game and about allowing things into our lives that we may not ever have kind of accepted to be real.
Cassady, thanks for joining us here today on eHealth Radio. I actually did have one more question for you as we conclude. How can we use The Universe Speaks? Are you listening as your own personal oracle? Talk to us about that.
Well, this book was specifically made to be something that can fit into our daily lives, because all of us are busy and we have a lot going on. And so it can be challenging to find that guidance in a format that fits in our everyday lives. So this book can be used, you can get a message a day. It's designed in a way where you don't have to read it cover to cover. It can be one message a day. You can pick a message if you're having an issue you need help with. So it's an oracle in the format of a book where you can take it with you anywhere you go. And you always have that guideline, that link to that guidance that helps you to take a higher perspective. And in that way, I really love that it's easy to read. And it gives you helpful guidance and energy healing tips and advice in a format that doesn't demand a lot from you in your life. It's there to be a feel-good factor, to boost you and lift you up.
I'm sure listeners want to know how they can pick up the book or get more information on you or the book as well. Where's the best place online to do so?
I do have a website. It's CassadyCayne.com. And if you go to CassadyCayne.com/book bonus, you can get the book at a special discounted rate, and you get an energy healing journey where I talk you through it. It's a guided meditation that will help you to unwind, relax, allow in more positivity.
And thanks for the offer, Cassady. Much appreciated on behalf of eHealth Radio. Again, Cassady, all the best. Thanks for joining us here today, again on eHealth Radio.
Thank you so much, Eric. It was a pleasure.
We have been speaking with Cassady Cayne, author of the #1 best-selling book, The Universe Speaks. Are You Listening? 111 High-Vibrational Oracle Messages on Love, Healing, and Existence to Unlock Your Inner Light. And for further information, once again, visit CassadyCayne.com. And again, this has been your host, Eric Michaels, and we do thank you for your continued support of the eHealth Radio Network. Join us again soon for another episode that will help further expand your knowledge on those things that are important to your health and wellness. For more eHealth Radio reports, we invite you to visit our main radio channel site at eHealthRadioNetwork.com. And as always, we do thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in to the eHealth Radio Network. For more information or to subscribe to this podcast, visit eHealthRadioNetwork.com.
This episode of eHealth Radio was brought to you by uNatural, empowering your health as natural as counting sheep and much, much more effective. Try Serenity at 15% off from uNatural.com with checkout code eHealth15. Again, that is eUNatural.com, checkout code eHealth15.